Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, Your Excellency, Mr. Minister of Finance, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm really enlightened by the Governor and the Minister's wonderful remarks. So I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some of my ideas about sustainability and the world development. Ladies and gentlemen, peace and development are the world's two permanent objectives. We all know, without peace, there will be no development. Without development, peace will not last long. However, we are really saddened to see that the world's peace and development are both facing severe challenges today. In the area of peace, as the Russian-Ukraine conflict has yet to end, armed conflict between Israel and Palestine erupted, resulting already over 10,000 people dead on both sides. Now, millions of Palestinians are being subjected to collective punishment, with several thousands of innocent women and children being killed, and over 100 UN staff have also lost their lives in the indiscriminate bombings. It is both saddening and shocking that the international community and the United Nations cannot stop this humanitarian crisis. In the area of development, as the 2030 UN Agenda for Sustainable Development has passed its halfway mark, yet its implementation is very disturbing. Of 17 SDGs of the UN Agenda, which include 169 targets, only 15% are on track. Many other SDGs are seriously off track or even reversed. Accordingly, I'm very reluctant to say we would not be able to fulfill most of the SDGs by 2030, which is a grave disaster for humanity. Mankind is facing unprecedented challenges: major country competition, the rise of Cold War mentality, zero-sum competition, unilateralism, protectionism, and hegemonism. Multilateralism and global governance have encountered serious difficulties. Some major countries are abusing the concept of national security, create risks in the name of de-risking, and undermining the international economic and trade order and the market rules in the name of decoupling, and deliberately blocking cultural and technological exchanges, thus making the implementation of SDGs even more difficult. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Guterres, said that conflicts do not emerge out of thin air, nor are they inevitable. Too often, they result from lack of access to basic services and life staples. If people see no hope in their lives, they would lose confidence in global governance. This is what we have been witnessing now. Ladies and gentlemen, my President Xi Jinping, pointed out that sustainable development is the golden key to solving global issues. The Chinese government has attached great importance to sustainable development and incorporated all United Nations SDGs into national development strategy for implementation. China also shares its successes and lessons learned and helps developing countries. Let me give you some of the examples. One, poverty eradication. Many of you know by the end of 2020, China successfully helped nearly 100 million people out of extreme poverty. That's the last group of people in poverty. Fulfilling SDG 1, 10 years ahead of schedule. China's contribution to poverty eradication accounted for over 70% of the world total. Meanwhile, China is sharing its poverty reduction successes with other countries. In Asia, China and ASEAN countries jointly launched a rural poverty alleviation plan and carried out the East Asia Poverty Reduction Demonstration projects in rural communities of Laos, Cambodia, Cambodia, and Myanmar. In Africa, China has helped African countries build water conservancy infrastructure, set demonstration zones for agriculture cooperation, and helped develop grass-based mushroom industry with unique Chinese technology. In the South Pacific, China has carried out technical cooperation projects in infrastructure, agriculture, and medical care. In Latin America, China has built agriculture technology demonstration centers to help the local people to shake off poverty. The second example, climate change. China has implemented a national strategy actively responding to climate changes, announced the targets for carbon peak and neutrality, and implemented structural readjustments in industries, energy, and transportation sectors. China has built the world's largest carbon market and the clean power generation system. China's renewable energy resources have expanded rapidly with installed capacities for hydropower, windmill, solar power, and biogas power, all ranking top in the world. China's electric vehicles on the road counted over half of the world total. China's carbon intensity in 2022 was 51% lower than that in 2005. According to Big Earth data in support of the Sustainable Development Goals 2023, more than half of China's environmental indicators have achieved the SDGs ahead of schedule. China has taken an active role in multilateral climate processes. China, together with the European Union and Canada, established the Ministerial on Climate Action and contributed to the conclusion of Sharm el-Sheikh implementation plan. This year, China has been making important efforts to ensure the success of COP28. As you know, recently, China and the United States reached the Sunnylands Statement on enhancing cooperation to addressing the climate change crisis, thus injecting strong impetus into global cooperation on climate change. Third example, the Belt and Road. The Belt and Road Initiative has been mentioned by both the governor and the minister. I would like to say this initiative is neither today's Marshall Plan nor China's colonial strategy. Last October, the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation took place in Beijing, with the participation of over 10,000 people, including His Excellency Prime Minister Orban Victor. President Xi Jinping then launched 8 fresh actions, instilling more energy to BRI. The forum presented 458 achievements. Chinese financial institutions established a financing window for BRI projects with assets of over 780 billion Chinese RMB, that is over $100 billion US. And also the business and the cooperation contracts entered by both Chinese and the foreign companies at that time, totaling $97.2 billion US. Prime Minister Orban said at that time, the BRI launched by presidency will bring major changes to the world, serve to promote world economy and bring more benefits to all the peoples. Hungarian side firmly supports BRI and continues to take an active part in the initiative. And the fourth example is GDI, that is the Global Development Initiative. In order to further accelerate the speed of SDG implementation, China proposed the Global Development Initiative, GDI. We hosted the high-level dialogue on global development, created the Global Development and the South-South Cooperation Fund, totaling $4 billion, launched a China FAO South-South Cooperation Trust Fund, Phase 3, and increased the financial support for the China UN Peace and Development Fund. Over the past 2 years, the GDI has focused on such areas like food security, poverty reduction, and energy security, with over 200 projects achieving good results. China also issued the Global Development Report and established the Global Knowledge Network for Development. Currently, there are more than 100 countries and international organizations have expressed their support to the GDI, and with over 70 countries participating in the group of friends of the GDI established in the United Nations headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals on schedule in the current complex and turbulent international situations, China proposes the following. First, working together to safeguard world peace. We should abandon the Cold War mentality and zero-sum game and prevent the world from falling again into division and confrontation. We should maintain dialogues and consultation to solve international and regional hotspot issues and support the Security Council to play a key role. Second, maintaining an open world economy, we should firmly oppose decoupling and trade protectionism, uphold an open, inclusive, and fair international trade and the world economy. We should also promote synergies between the Belt and Road Initiative and the European Union's Global Gateway, leverage our respective strengths to achieve SDGs. Third, forming synergies in such areas as poverty reduction, food security, economic recovery, job training, education, health, and green development to advance concrete cooperation and to achieve SDGs by 2030. The fourth, sharing the dividends of the new technology revolution. I realized that the governor of the bank was mentioning technology revolution and its benefits. We should help developing countries to advance their green transition, develop a new type industrialization and the digital economy, and promote technological and institutional innovation with more investment and technology transfer. Fifth, the last, forging global development partnership. We should give full play to the role of multilateral or organizations and initiatives. Developed countries must honor their commitments on development assistance and climate financing. On this note, it's very disappointing to see that commitments made are not being met. Developing countries should strengthen South-South cooperation to support each other. We should fully utilize multilateral financial institutions, such as the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, of which Hungary is a member, and the New Development Bank, fully mobilize private capital and increase financing for infrastructure and sustainable development projects in developing countries. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Minister of Finance mentioned, Hungary was one is one of the first countries to recognize and establish diplomatic ties with New China. In recent years, the two countries have been deepened political mutual trust, achieved rich and tangible results in our win-win cooperation, encouraged more people-to-people contacts and visits, coordinated our efforts in international and regional affairs, thus further strengthening the friendly relations between Chinese and the Hungarian peoples. Prime Minister Orban attended all three Belt and Road forums, for which we are deeply grateful. Mr. Governor also quoted in the forum welcome remarks a Chinese saying, "For 100 years of prosperity, grow people," which demonstrates very vividly your in-depth knowledge and enjoyment of Chinese culture. And the Hungarian side also is so kind to invite quite a few Chinese experts and scholars to this forum, which shows the great importance attached by all of you to my country. So for all these, I wish to express my deep appreciation and sincere thanks. China is ready to exchange with the Hungarian side our experiences in public governance, support each other's road of development, chosen independently and separately by our own, strengthen efforts to dovetail BRI with the Hungarian strategy of opening to the East policy, so that both countries could share development opportunities and the fruits. China will take the 75th year of diplomatic ties, which is next year, as a new starting point to continuously promote Sino-Hungarian comprehensive strategic partnership and strengthen our friendship-friendly ties and cooperation with more and new success stories. Thank you very much.